Good evening.
Yeah, Tajan. Good evening, Tajan.
How are you?
We are good, Tajan. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you
Tajan.
hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear Tajan. Can Tajan hear us? Can
Yes,
Ajahn
very loud.
Okay, sorry, Ajahn. Okay, thank you, Ajahn. So, maybe Prakanti is here. Maybe Prakanti want to pay respect to Tajan first.
Please do.
Brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, let us all play the respect to Ajahn together. First round. Second round. Third round. Please be seated.
Yeah, Ajahn. So we are ready. May we ask Dhamma from Tajan, please? Thank you, Sadhu.
How many are here tonight?
Tonight, 55 Ajahn Tajan.
How many men and women?
We have we have not counted. Around half. Later we count first. We will update Tajan later. Is it okay?
No, it's all right. Just to warm up, just to get the talking going.
Oh yes, Ajahn. So how many men are women? Just get the conversation going on a bit. Yeah.
Are they part of the Wat Palelai community?
There's a combination. Some from Wat Palelai, some from Sebastian class, some from yeah from the public Tajan.
And they have been studying Buddhism for some time, I guess.
There are some also from Sebastian class that they have been studying the under Sebastian, but we didn't go and check with them their background and everything, Ajahn.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because before you can practice effectively, you first need to study the teaching of the Buddha first. I'll keep on talking.
Okay, Ajahn. Sadhu, Ajahn. Thank you.
Because if you haven't studied before, you might not understand the reason behind the Buddha's teaching. What's the purpose of meditating? What's the goal of meditation? The Buddha's goal in teaching the meditation is to use it as a tool to eliminate all the bad feelings that we have. Bad feelings can only be eliminated by the practice of Buddhist meditation. Nothing else in this world can eliminate your bad feelings. If anything in this world could have eliminated your bad feelings, you would all have already eliminated them. But you still have bad feelings. That's because nothing in this world can cure or get rid of your bad feelings. You need the teaching of the Lord Buddha, because the Buddha had discovered the right way of eliminating your bad feelings. Once he had eliminated his bad feelings, then he teach other people how to do it. People who listen to his instruction and follow his instruction eventually was able to eliminate their bad feelings. So too with all of you, if you follow his teaching, his instruction, you can also one day completely eliminate all your bad feelings. The Buddha teaches 3 steps toward the total elimination of bad feelings. The first step he calls dana, means charity. Second step he calls sila, means keeping the precepts or abstaining from hurting other people and animals, other living beings. Third he called pavana, which consists of 2 parts. The first part is called samatha pavana, calming the mind by meditating, sitting, closing your eyes, and concentrate on one object to stop your mind from thinking aimlessly. After you have calmed your mind becomes peaceful, then it is ready to learn the truth that the Buddha had discovered. Because if you know the truth like the Buddha knows, then you can eliminate all of your bad feelings. Your bad feelings arises because you don't know the truth. You see the truth not according to what the truth is, but according to what you think it is. And what you think it is delusional. It's not according to the truth. So you have to teach or reteach your mind the truth. This is the third step, the final step, before you will be able to completely eliminate all your bad feelings. So these are the steps you have to go through. You cannot skip them because they are interdependent. They're supporting the other, like the practice of dana or charity supports the practice of maintaining the precept. The practice of maintaining the precept will support the practice of meditation. The first step of meditation, that is the meditating for calm, bring your mind to peace and calm. After your mind becomes peaceful and calm, then you can teach your mind the truth. And once the mind sees the truth, then the mind will act accordingly. Right now, the mind doesn't act the way it should be acting. It is not thinking the way it should be thinking. It is thinking contrary to the truth, going against the truth. Once you go against the truth, you will generate stress, bad feelings in you. So this is what you have to develop from first step to second step to third step and to the fourth step. Some of these practices can be done at the same time, but with different level of intensity. When you first started, you might practice on a low level of intensity. Like when you give dana, you give to charity, you might give a little bit at first, maybe one tenth of your income, and then you can maintain the precept about one tenth of the precept, and you will be able to meditate for about one tenth. But if you increase your practice of dana, of charity, by giving more, then you will be able to maintain more of the precepts, and you will be able to practice meditation more. So this is how things go. You have to first let go of your attachment to your possession, because attachment to your possession will prevent you from being able to keeping the precept. Sometimes when you want something bad, you are willing to do something bad just to do or keep what you have. But if you are not attached to your possession, then you will be able to maintain your precept, keeping your precept. So the first step is you should try to let go of your possession as much as possible. Let go of the things you love. Let go of the people you love. Because when you are attached to people or things that you love, you would want to do everything possible to keep them. But sometimes things happen that you cannot keep them. But you still might try to do it in the wrong way, like breaking the precepts, being dishonest, cheating, for instance, or hurting other people. So charity is actually a mean for you to let go. You should have too much possession because they cannot get rid of your bad feelings. The less you have, the less bad feeling you will have. The more you have, the more you will have bad feelings. So the Buddha teaches the living in a frugal and austere manner. Just have enough to maintain life. You don't need anything more than that. Anything more than that will be cause for your bad feelings, not for your good feelings. Because when you have things, you want them to be with you all the time. You don't want to lose them. But by nature of everything in this world, they are not permanent. They are subjected to change and dissolution. Sooner or later, one day, you will lose everything that you have today. But if you are not attached to what you have, when you lose them, you won't have any bad feelings. But if you are attached, when you lose them, you will have strong bad feelings. So this is the first step to get rid of your bad feelings concerning the possession that you have and people and things that you have. You have to constantly remind yourself that everything that you have is your temporary possession. They are not permanent. Anything that you have, even your body, one day you will lose your body. We all will lose our body. No one can stop it, because this is the truth. So if you can constantly remind you of this fact, it will help you to lessen your grip on your possession and lessen your desire for possessing more and more. But if you don't reflect on the cessation of the body, you will forget and you will be driven by your delusion to think that to have more will make you happier because you can do more. But whatever you do, it might give you some pleasure, give you some joy, but they are temporary. But they can never get rid of your bad feelings. When you have bad feelings, your possession cannot stop your bad feelings. So you must try to let go of your attachment to your possession, to people and things, by being charitable, keeping only what you really need, and you will be a lot happier. You won't have to work too hard, so hard to get all the possession, because once you have them, instead of they making you happy, they're making you unhappy, because you worry whether you will be able to maintain and keep them forever. So this is what you should teach yourself every day. The Buddha said, contemplate on the impermanent nature of things all the time. It will stop your desire to acquire more and more. People that acquire so much money, although they could never be able to spend them, they forget the fact that they will lose them one day. And they don't know that this money cannot cure or get rid of their bad feelings. The thing that will help get rid of the bad feeling is to get rid of their possession, get rid of their attachment to their possession, to people and things that they love. Because the bad feeling arises from their attachment. And once you give away your possession, your wealth, you share with other people, it will generate loving kindness and compassion in you. You will have love and kindness and compassion toward other people and things. When you have this, you don't want to hurt other people. You want to make people happy. You want to help people when they are in need. And by doing this, it brings you happiness. It gives you happiness. Gives you a sense of joy and fulfillment. That you have helped other people. That you have make other people happy by your sacrifice. You will have another kind of happiness that you won't get from acquiring things, like buying things. It's a different kind of happiness. And this kind of happiness will keep your mind peaceful and prevent your mind from being greedy, being possessive, wanting more and more. You will become content at one level. At least you want to be rich, because being rich doesn't help you in getting rid of your bad feelings. So when you give to charity more and more, you will have compassion and love for other people. Then you will be able to keep the precept first the 5 precepts. And once you can keep the 5 precepts, then you can move up to the 8 precepts. Because if you want to meditate, you need to keep the 8 precepts. You can start by keeping the 8 precepts on your day off, the day that you don't have to go to work. And then you can combine this with your meditation practice. You should set a special day where you will not do other kind of activity. You want to concentrate on the activity of the mind. You want to bring peace and happiness to your mind. You can do this if you stop doing other kinds of activities, such as the ones prohibit you in the 8 precepts, like abstain from killing, abstain from stealing, abstain from sexual activity. If you keep the 8 precepts, you cannot have any sexual activity, even with your own spouse. If you keep the 5 precepts, you can still have the sexual activity with your spouse. But if you have this sexual activity, it will interfere with your meditation. It will take away your time to meditate. And you won't have the heart to meditate. So if you want to develop peace of mind and happiness of mind, you have to give up your physical pleasure, like the sleeping with your spouse, your partner. Just for one day, one night, you want to switch to a different kind of happiness, switch to a different kind of activity. This activity is called bhavana or meditation. If you can maintain the 8 precepts, then you won't waste your time with sleeping with your spouse. You won't have to waste your time eating, because you will only eat until noon time. You don't have to eat in the evening or even at night before you go to bed, because your body had plenty of food already. What's really hungry is not the body. It's usually your mind that is not calm. When your mind is not calm, there will be lots of desire coming out, wanting to see, to hear, to drink, to eat. So you want to calm your mind. Once you can calm your mind, then your desire for things sensual will disappear. And you can stay doing nothing and be happy and comfortable. So you have to try to maintain the 8 precepts. Fix a day for this activity. For Buddhists, they usually start from the sunrise. The day starts in Buddhist calendar. We count the day starting from sunrise. Now it's about 6 o'clock, and end the next sunrise. It's complete 24 hours. This is the day you want to devote to the development of peace of mind and happiness of heart. So on this day you want to keep the 8 precepts. If you cannot do dana, if you want to be isolated, because when you meditate, it is very helpful to be alone. So you don't have to worry about giving dana on that day. You can do it on some other day. So when you get up in the morning, before you start your practice, you might have to start setting up your resolve first. Resolution, Atithana. Atithana in Buddhism doesn't mean prayer for something. It means to set up a goal, a purpose. Like you will set up a purpose that today from 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, I will keep the 8 precepts. I will try to develop mindfulness all day long, from the time I get up to the time I go to sleep. And when I don't have to do anything, if I can sit down, I will sit down and meditate like you do tonight. But you want to do more than just half an hour. You have 24 hours. You might give up 4 hours for your sleeping. So you have 20 hours to meditate, to develop mindfulness. When you meditate, before you can meditate successfully, you first need to have mindfulness. Because mindfulness is the tool to stop your mind from thinking, to stop your mind from being restless and agitated. If you have mindfulness, you will be able to push your mind into calm, pull your mind into calm, to peace, to happiness. If you don't have mindfulness, your mind will keep on thinking endlessly and aimlessly. As long as your mind keeps thinking, you will not be able to experience peace of mind or calm. So, from the time you get up, you should develop mindfulness. You can use anything to use as your object of mindfulness. You can use a mantra, or you can use your body, for instance. If you use a mantra like Bhutto, you just keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto as you get up, as you go to the toilet, to wash, to brush your teeth, as you go to get dressed, as you go to eat, while you eat, whatever activity you do, keep your focus on your object of mindfulness. If you use a mantra, just keep repeating the mantra, Bhutto, 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 as you do your activity. If you don't like to recite the mantra, you just like to watch, just keep watching your body. Every action, every moment, from the time you getting up, sitting on your bed, standing up, walking, step by step, watch every step of your movement. Watch every activity that you do with your body. Don't let your mind go away to something else. If you can maintain this level of mindfulness, when you sit and meditate, you can concentrate on your meditation object and will not wander, go away. If you can focus and stay with your meditation object continuously, your mind can become calm very quickly. Maybe 5-10 minutes, your mind can already be calm. But if you have no mindfulness, you will not be able to focus on your meditation object continuously. You might be able to watch your breath for a few seconds. Then you might start to drift and think about this and think about that. Maybe for a while before you realize that, then you come back to watching your breath for a few more seconds. Then you go thinking again. So after 30 minutes, you don't get anything. You don't get any result. because your mind is not fixed on your meditation object. And your mind cannot be fixed because your mind has no mindfulness. So you must develop mindfulness first before you will be able to meditate successfully. So developing mindfulness is the most important thing in your practice of meditation. But you need the support of your precept, but by your precept, because your precept acts like a fence to prevent your mind from going away from your meditation activity. If you don't have the precept, then there's no fence. Like if you want to keep your pet in place, you need a fence. Like if you have cows, cattle, horses, and you want them to stay in one place, you need to have a fence to fence it around. If you don't, they will go wandering everywhere. It's the same way with your mind. If you have no fence, no precept, then your mind will just go anywhere it wants to and do anything it wants to. And when it breaks the precept, it causes problem to the mind. It will bring bad feelings, because when you do something bad, you feel bad. So you need the precept. If you cannot keep the 8 precepts, yet try to keep the 5 precepts first. If you cannot keep the 5 precepts, it means you don't have a charitable heart. You are still greedy, you still want more and more. So you don't care if you hurt other people, because you never care for other people. But when you give to charity, if you practice dana, it means you care for other people. You want to make other people happy. You want to help other people. So you give away what you don't need. You only keep what you need, because it's useless for you, because it will never help you in eliminating your bad feelings, but it would create more bad feelings for you. So they are not useful to have if they are more than what you can use, what you need. Just keep what you need and keep some for the future. You have some reserve for the future. Once you have enough, then you should share the rest with other people. Help those who are in need, or give to those people who have been kind and helpful to you. You should be grateful. Being grateful is a good quality of a good person. Not being grateful is a sign of a bad person. You only want to take, you never want to give back. And you will never have any friends if you behave like this. But if you are grateful and you are willing to give back, to share what you have with other people, you will have lots of friends. You won't have much enemies. And it will make you feel good that way. So please try to share what you have. Just think that if you don't, one day when you die, this thing won't mean anything to you. It won't be useful for you at all. But if you use it today, if you share it today, it will lift up your spirit, lift up your mind, lift up your heart higher. You become more noble because you sacrifice, you give things away, you think of other people. When you do this, then you will find it easy to keep the 5 precepts. Because once you are charitable at heart, you don't want to hurt other people. You don't want to kill, you don't want to steal other people's money. You don't want to commit adultery. You don't want to lie. and you don't want to drink alcohol because it will make you drunk and you will not be able to maintain good behavior. So this is the step you need to do. Give to charity, practice dana, and then you will be able to keep the 5 precepts. And once you can keep the 5 precepts, then on your day off, on the day that you are free from working and other activities, then you should keep the 8 precepts and use that day for the practice of meditation. Stay alone. Don't associate with anybody on that day. You don't want to socialize. You want to be alone. Because if you socialize, then you will waste your time. Because you will have to talk and entertain one another. And you might not be able to maintain the 8 precepts. Because the purpose of maintaining the 8 precepts is to help you to be alone, to stay alone, to prevent you from socializing and finding entertainment activities. They are fun, but they cannot help you eliminate your bad feelings. What can eliminate your bad feeling is meditation. You need to have the time to meditate. If you still do other kind of activities, like going to dinner, going to a party, going to a wedding reception, go socializing with your friends, go to an entertainment venue, then you won't have the time to meditate. So on this special day, you want to stop all this social activity. Even your social media, you should turn it off on this day. Turn off your phone, turn off your internet, turn off everything. Disconnect. You want to be alone. Because if you don't disconnect, you cannot meditate successfully. Your mind will keep thinking whether someone is calling you, and you want to know who is doing what. And you will not be able to maintain your mindfulness. So this is the prerequisite to a successful meditation practice. Once you have done this, then you'll find that your meditation will progress easily. If you enter some hindrances, like being sleepy, then you might have to use more austere or severe tool to get rid of your hindrance, such as sleepiness. One way is to fast, not to eat at all, because when you're hungry, you don't feel sleepy. But you must be able to, at a certain level, maintain your mental hunger. Most of the hunger doesn't come from your body, but from your mind, thinking about food. When you think about food, it starts to become hungry right away, even though you just had something to eat already. But when you start to think about something else to eat, you can become hungry right away. So you have to have a certain level of mindfulness to be able to stop your mind from thinking about food, like maintaining your mantra, repeating the Bhutto Bhutto. If you can maintain that, then you don't feel hungry, and when you sit in meditation, you don't feel sleepy, and you can meditate for a long time. If you sit and you feel tired, you want to get up, you can get up and do walking meditation. Your meditation process is still the same, only that you switch your position from sitting to walking. If you use the mantra as your meditation object, you can use it while you're walking also. Keep repeating the mantra. If you use your breathing, your breath as your meditation object, you can use that too. But if you find it difficult to focus on your breath, you can use your foot as your meditation object. Just beware of your foot when you walk, left, right, left, right. Just beware. The important thing is not to let your mind to think about this and that. And after you have walked until you feel tired, then you can come back and sit again. So if you can keep on doing this, I guarantee you that eventually your mind will become calm and peaceful. And you would have succeed in your first level of meditation practice, the practice for calm. Once you have achieved calm, when you come out of your meditation, you want to direct your mind to think in the way of truth, to think of the things that you possess, the things that you love, to look at their true nature, what they are really. If you look, the Buddha said, you will see that they are all impermanent. If you look hard enough, you'll see that they are all not your possession. They don't belong to you. They are your temporary possession, and they are not always under your control. You cannot control them, like your body. You cannot stop your body from aging. You cannot stop your body from getting sick. You cannot stop your body from dying. Once you understand this truth, then you will adjust your mind, your attitude toward these things. Instead of trying to force them to be what you want them to be, you will let it be. You will live with it. If it's gonna get old, let it get old. If it's gonna get sick, let it get sick. If you can cure it, cure it. If you can have medicine to fix it, fix it. But if you cannot cure, if you cannot fix it, then you just have to let it be. Just look after your mind. Don't let your mind have any desire. Because once your mind starts to have desire, your mind will become stressful and all sort of bad feelings will arise. Like the desire for the body to get well when it's still sick, or the desire not to die when you know that the time for you to die is coming soon. If you accept the truth, your mind will return to peace and calm, and you will not be affected by the dissolution of the body, the sickness of the body, or the aging of the body. This is what we call vipassana, insight, to see the truth of things, not the way we used to see them. The way we used to see them is to see them as permanent, as belonging to us, as giving us happiness. They don't. They are the opposite. Because they are impermanent, because they don't belong to us, we cannot control them. They will only bring you bad feelings. So if you can develop to this level, then you will start to be able to eliminate your bad feelings. And eventually, all your bad feelings will all disappear. Because your bad feeling arises from your desire for things to be this or that. But when you know that you cannot have what you want all the time, sometimes things will go their own way. And if you have no desire for them to be otherwise, you won't have any bad feelings. So to conclude this talk tonight, you have to develop the whole approach, the whole practice, the three practices: dana, charity, maintain the precepts, and meditation, Pavana, Samatha Pavana, then Vipassana Pavana. If you can do this, you can eliminate all your bad feeling eventually. So let me close this talk for now and give you a chance to ask any question.
Okay, ตาอาจารย์ thank you ตาอาจารย์ สาธุ so we have a question so we start the Q&A session ตาอาจารย์
Go ahead.
okay. From the last week talk, ตาอาจารย์ advised that we read or learn from sutta and practice at the same time. Can please ตาอาจารย์ point out which sutta are important to study and help in our practice? Thank you ตาอาจารย์
There are several major important sutta. The first one is the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the first sermon, the first talk that the Buddha gave to the 5 ascetics, to his 5 former disciples, in which he taught about the 4 noble truths and the Eightfold Path. This is the core of the Buddha's teaching. You have to know what the 4 noble truths are. Dukkhang, Samudaya, Nirodha, and Magga. Dukkhang means stress or suffering, mental suffering. Samudaya, the cause of this mental suffering, consists of the 3 desires. Desire for sensual pleasure, desire to become, and the desire not to become. These are the cause of your mental stress, mental suffering, not physical, mental. The problem is not the physical suffering, but it's the mental suffering. The physical suffering is minute when compared to the mental suffering. So we have to know the cause of this mental suffering, and we have to find the tool to eliminate this mental suffering, to eliminate this cause of this mental suffering, the 3 desires. And the Buddha said the tool to eliminate is called the Magga, the path, the Eightfold Path, the Noble Eightfold Path, which boils down to the 3 practices that I mentioned to you tonight: Dana, Sila, and Pavana. If you can develop this Dana, Sila, Pavana, then you will have the tool to get rid of your desire. When you have no desire, then there will be no suffering, no stress. This is the first sermon. The second sutta, which will instruct you how to develop the Magga, the path, especially the Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi, and Sammaทิฏฐิ, Samma Sankappo. These are the 4 major factors of the Noble Eightfold Path. It is contained in the Samatha Pavana and Vipassana Pavana. So this is what you have to learn, how to develop mindfulness. The 4 Satipatthana Sutta will instruct you how to develop the mindfulness. It will instruct you how to sit in meditation in order to bring the mind to calm and peace. And after you have developed calm and peace of mind, when you withdraw from that state, when your mind starts to think, then you direct your mind to think in the way of insight. The way of insight is to look at everything as that three characteristics. They are anicca, impermanent, dukkha, they are stressful, and third, they are anatta. We cannot control them. They come and go like the weather. They are nature. We cannot control nature. We have to abide and live with nature. So this is the second important sutta. For meditator, this is the most important sutta. But if you're still a lay person and you still have to involve with people, activities, social interaction, so forth, then you should learn the Mangala Sutta, the auspicious action. I think there are about 38 of them, starting with knowing who to keep as your company. The Buddha said you should keep company with the wise and avoid keeping company with the fool, with the foolish. This sutta will instruct you how to interact with people and things around you, all the way up to the practice of meditation and the attainment to the Nibbana is contained in this sutta. So I think these three important sutta, I think you should study, read it, and you can then search for commentary, and that will explain further, because this sutta will only contain just the headlines. There might not be details. You might have to search for the commentary that will explain, that will widen the scope of the sutta. I used to, when I first meditate, when I could not sit and focus on my meditation object, I memorized the four foundation of mindfulness sutta, the Satipatthana Sutta, in English, and translated, because I can understand what I'm reciting, memorizing. I sit down to meditate and then just use this reciting of this sutta to calm my mind, to stop the mind from being restless and agitated. And after I finished reciting this sutta, then I find I could sit down and focus on my breath. This sutta can take about 30 to 4 minutes to memorize, to recite. But it can be, it could help you in maintaining or developing your mindfulness and helping to calm your mind to one level, but not completely calm. This is my answer to your question.
Okay, Tanjan. Okay, Tanjan, thank you. Second question will be, is the heart the same as the consciousness aggregate? Thank you, Tanjan.
Well, first of all, let me clarify that we can use several terminology to mean the same thing. So when I say mind or heart, I mean the part of us that is not physical, non-physical part. The physical part is our body, but the other part, the one that think, that feel, that know, this is the non-physical part. And in Buddhism we call it mind. In Pali we call it citta. We call it heart. In Pali it means mano. So they mean the same thing. we're referring to the same thing, the non-physical part of us. It is one, but in this non-physical part, it has several parts. The aggregates such as Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vinyan. These are the aggregate. These are the components of the mind, of the heart. The mind uses this to navigate. The mind in itself, in this pure form, when it's completely calm, is just knowing. But when it has to interact with other mind, it needs to have this aggregate, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vinyan. Vedana is feeling. Sanya is memory or perception. Sankhara is thinking, thought. Vinyan is consciousness, being conscious of the things that enter into the mind, such as the picture we see, the sound we hear, the smell we smell, the taste we taste, and the things that we touch. This is done by vijnana. The vijnana will receive this sense data and send it to the mind. Once it comes into the mind, then the sanya will come into action. Sanya is to try to figure out what this sight, this picture that we see, this sound that we hear, whether it is a man or a woman, whether it's your friend or your enemy. When sanya has figured out who this picture that the eye see, then it will have feelings. If you see your friend, you will have good feelings. When you see your enemy, you will have bad feelings. And after you have this feeling, then your thought will come into work. If you have good feeling, then your thought say, let's have more of it. If you have bad feeling, you say, let's get rid of it. So this is how your khanda work, your nama khanda, the four nama khanda. It is the one that help the mind interact with the other mind, the other people. Okay?
Okay, Tajan. Thank you, Tajan. So the next question, I use the mantra Buddha for my meditation practice. Recently, my meditation practice, my head has started to twitch and shake by itself once every minute and can be quite forceful. Typically, if I ignore this and I just concentrate on the Buddha, my mind can drop into a deeper calm and then the shaking stops, but it will start again. Could I please seek Tajan advice on this? Thank you, Tajan.
You should just ignore whatever happens. Just try to concentrate on your meditation object. Sometimes your body, your mind, your defilement, your kilesa will try to disrupt your concentration by creating all kinds of obstacles, all kinds of experiences. But if you ignore them and just concentrate on your object, your meditation object, then when your mind becomes calm, then all these things will disappear. But if you pay attention to them, then you will not be able to continue on with your meditation. So try to not to pay any attention to anything except your meditation object. Then you will find success in your meditation. Okay?
Okay, Tajan, thank you. For the next question, if my breath is not stable, I can't even maintain clear and continuous attention. What should I do, Tajan? Thank you.
Your breath can be stable or not stable, it's no problem. All your mind have to do is to acknowledge, just to be aware. If you have a short breath, just be aware that you're breathing short. If you have long breath, just be aware that you're breathing long. Don't have to interfere with your breath. Leave it alone. you only want to use your breath as your anchor to keep your mind anchored to something so that it doesn't go think about this and that. The Buddha said if the breath is short, just beware it is short. If the breath is long, just beware it is long. If the breath is coarse, just know that it is coarse. If it is subtle, if it is fine, just know, just beware, and don't think about anything, even the breath. Don't try to have any criticism of the breath. Just beware, just watch. You don't want to think. When you think, then you lose your purpose. You lose your goal. You won't achieve what you wanted to achieve. Okay?
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you. For the next question, do people with good logical or analytical skill have an advantage in vipassana meditation? Thank you, Ajahn.
I think they will, because in vipassana we use rationality, we use logic, we use cause and effect. This thing happen, make this other thing happen. See? This is some like the Four Noble Truths is logic, cause and effect. Our bad feeling arises from our desire. Our bad feeling disappear when we get rid of our desire. And the thing that will help us get rid of our desire is the vipassana, is the knowledge, the truth, the knowledge of impermanence, of stress, and of anatta. So this is people who think logically or rationally will advance quickly when they arrive at the vipassana level. But sometimes it can be a hindrance when they try to calm the mind, to stop the mind from thinking, because they want to keep on thinking. So for people who doesn't think much, for them might be easier for them to develop calm. But for those who think, sometimes it will be difficult. Sometimes they have to use this thinking process to help calm their mind. For instance, when you sit and you try to calm your mind and you start to worry about something or someone, then you have to think rationally about that something or someone. So, for instance, you are here and that thing or that someone is over there. Can you do anything about it? Can you stop that person from being impermanent? Can you stop that person from doing whatever that person wants to do? If you can see this truth, then you can stop worrying about them. And then your mind can become calm enough for you to focus on your meditation object. So this can something that you might have to use when you try to meditate and then your mind start to worry about this or that. And yet there's no other way to stop it except using reason, using logic to reason with your mind so that it can stop worrying about that thing or that person. Okay.
Okay, Ajahn. So the next question, from Buddhism perspective, how does it view the use of sedative drugs to keep our loved one who is terminally ill semi-conscious in order to ease his pain while dying? Thank you, Ajahn.
Like I said earlier before that there are two kinds of pain, physical and mental pain. The physical pain is minute when compared to the mental pain. So if a person knows how to control the mental pain, then the physical pain will not be a problem. You don't need to sedate. But if you have never trained your mind to reduce or get rid of your mental pain, then when the physical pain arises, you are creating another level of pain, the mental pain. This is something that you cannot endure or experience. That's why you need to sedate or you need painkillers to stop your physical pain. Once your physical pain disappears, then your mental pain will also disappear. But if you meditate and you develop vipassana, you can leave the physical pain alone and control your mental pain. But if you cannot, then you would have to rely on medicine to help. But by relying on other things to help you is not the way to solve your problem, because your problem is induced, created by yourself. So you have to stop it yourself. If you use other things, you're just only sidestepping the issue. You're not facing your problem, and you will never be able to get rid of your problem. Because in your next life, when you experience the same thing, you will need some other thing to help you. But if you learn to manage your mental pain, then eventually you won't need to have anything. Like the Buddha and his noble disciple, when they experience pain, they just use vipassana and samatha bhavana to get rid of their mental pain. But they don't get rid of their physical pain because this is not something they can do. But as I said, the physical pain is minute. It's very small when it compares to the mental pain. Once you can control or eliminate your mental pain, then the physical pain won't affect your mind. Your mind can remain peaceful and calm and live with that physical pain. So this is what you want to do, to face it, solve the problem at the source, not sidestep by using other means to help you eliminate this pain. Because what happens when you're in a position where you cannot have anything to help you? Then you will have to suffer a lot. But if you know how to manage your physical pain or eliminate your mental pain, then you won't need anything. You don't need painkillers, you don't need sedation. You can live with the physical pain, no problem at all. If your mind can become calm and peaceful and eliminate the desire that caused the stress in the first place. Okay?
Okay, Ajahn. So our next question, why there are many setbacks in life, one after another, despite one's continued efforts to cultivate merits, such as through meditation, practicing dana, etc. Thank you, Ajahn.
See, setback comes because of your desire. You want something and you cannot get it, so you say it's a setback. So what you should do is to eliminate your desire and just do as much as you can and just be content with whatever you get. Then there will be no setback. If today you can sit for 10 minutes, just be content with that. Tomorrow you can sit for 30 minutes, just be content with that. Whatever you do, just don't have any desire that you must do it, accomplish it. Then you will feel disappointed when you cannot accomplish it. You have to look at that there are many factors in your life that you cannot avoid or prevent or manage or control. They can be cause for your setback. So you just have to accept that this is normal in life. Whatever you do, you cannot always get what you want. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. So if you don't be discouraged. Just accept it as part of life and move on. So long as you keep moving, keep on doing good, keep on practicing, following the Lord Buddha's teaching, eventually you will get to where you want to go. You have to be patient. Okay?
Okay, Ajahn, thank you. So for the next question, from the last week's lesson, I get the message that Buddhism has little regard to marriage, as you thought that in order to achieve concentration, you need to separate from your spouse. So I feel that it should be a joint agreement for a couple. So this person also watched a TV program that a bhikkhuni also divorced his partner, and this person also said he experienced it himself. So I do not know any sutta with regards to family life by the Buddha. What is Tajan thought on this? Thank you, Tajan.
Well, you have to understand that people have different desire in life. Some people want to be happy living with a family. They can do that. There are ways in which they can be happy living in a family. But this level of happiness is not as high as the level of a meditator way of life. So there are two levels of happiness in this world. The level of living socially with your family and friends. You can be happy, but at the same time you also have the price you have to pay when you lose you love, when you lose things that you love. So this is something you trade off. You want this kind of happiness. On the other level of happiness, you don't want to trade off. You don't want to lose things. So if you don't want to lose things, then you don't have to have things. That's all. If you have nothing, then you have nothing to lose. Then this is another level of happiness. So it's each individual's choice. See? Buddhism is not against anything. Buddhism teach the way of living of these two different kind of happiness. If you live a family, keep the five precepts and be charitable. Share your wealth, share your happiness with others. Then you can have happiness. If you want another kind of happiness, the happiness of being alone, of having a peaceful mind, then you have to have the eighth precept, and you have to live alone and be alone and be self-reliant and find happiness inside, not outside. It's like going to an automobile dealer and they sell you different kind of cars. They have different price tag and each car have different features. So you choose which kind of feature you like. So it's the same way with your livelihood. Which way you want to live, you can choose. You want to live socially, you can do that. You want to live alone, you can also do that. There's no conflict. There's no discrimination or anything like that. Yeah. Because people have different preferences. So there are people who will be a family person, and there will be people who will be an ordained or a meditator. So it's up to you to choose for yourself. Okay?
Okay, Tajan. Thank you, Tajan. So the next question, sorry, Tajan. Now is about 9:11. We still have about 8 questions. So can we ask Tajan whether we continue or we'll take guide from Tajan?
It's up to the audience. If the audience is willing to listen more, we can more.
Okay.
So raise your hand whether you want to stop now
Okay, Tajan. So we'll find
or
out from the.
continue on.
Okay, Tajan. So we'll try to find out in a while. Okay, Tajan, so we decided to stop at 9:30, Tajan. Is that okay with Tajan?
Fine with me.
Thank you, Tajan. So our
Next question.
Yes, our next question. How can we teach young children aged 5 to 7 years to meditate progressively? Thank you, Tajan.
I think it's applying the wrong tool to the wrong person. Children they don't have this ability to maintain this level of mindfulness. Children, what they need is good basic teaching, how to be a good person, like keeping some of the precepts, like not lying and being obedient to old people, to the older people, to the teachers, to the parents, to be respectful and to be charitable. This is something that you first must teach them. You don't go to the top, teach them the highest level of teaching because they cannot absorb it. It's too much for them. Okay.
Okay, Tajan. So our next question. On certain occasions, meditation can proceed quite smoothly, resulting in peace and calm. On other occasions, meditation is not peaceful and calm, including even after the conclusion of my meditation. Why is this so, Tajan? Thank you.
Because in your life, each day have different activities. Sometimes you have lots of work, you have a lot of problems to solve, and this can linger in your mind when you meditate, and they can be hindrance to your meditation. Someday everything goes well, no problem, everything everything don't remain in your mind when you meditate, so you can meditate successfully. And sometimes it depends on your mindfulness also. Someday you can maintain more mindfulness than the other. So the more mindfulness you have, the better will be the result of your meditation. So whatever it is, the Buddha said you should use the three characteristics as your guide. Just look at everything as impermanent. You cannot expect them to be the same day in and day out. Today it might be easy, tomorrow it might be hard. Because this is the way things work in this world. Because there's so much activity going on, so many changes around you. How can you expect your mind to remain the same every day? Okay?
Okay, Tajan, thank you. So our next question, how can I apply a middle path in daily life? And how do we know that when we have strayed from the middle path? For example, some people take unfair advantage of us or have crossed the limit of acceptable behavior. How should I respond so that I'm keeping to the middle path? Thank you, Tajan.
In order to maintain the middle path, you have to learn to develop the four Brahma Vihara, the four state of the Brahma, which is Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Ubekkha. These are the four qualities for you to apply in your daily life. Metta means to be friendly, to have no enemies. If people do you wrong, you should forgive them. Don't hold a grudge. If you have something you can share with other people, share it. Make friends, don't make enemy. This is metta. Karuna is helping people when they are in need. When you see someone in need and you can help them, give them a hand, then you will feel good, feel happy. Thirdly, if someone have succeeded in whatever they do, you should be joyful with them, congratulate them. Don't be jealous of their success, even though they might be your competitor. Like when you play sports, one side will have to win and the other side will have to lose. So the loser should be gracious, should be happy with the other side's success. If you can do this, then you will be peaceful, happy, and have no enemies, because you will not think anything bad about your opponent. You accept that in life will be winning and losing, but you don't have to get angry or sad or mad when you lose. And when you get mad, angry, or lose, you're hurting yourself, not your opponent. So try to be gracious, graceful when you lose, or when people are more successful than you are. You should feel happy with them. The fourth is ubekha. This is the keeping your mind in a neutral position. When things go wrong or things go bad with you or with somebody else, and there's nothing you can do or help, then you should have to just to be ubekha, just to be neutral. Don't react. Don't feel bad, because feel bad won't change anything. Like someone you love getting sick and they might have to die, but you don't want them to die. But there's nothing you can do, because it's the way things work. Things come and go. They are beyond your control. To feel sad or bad, it will only hurt yourself. So sometimes you have just to remain ubekha. And the way to have ubekha is to meditate. When you meditate and your mind become calm, then you will have ubekha. Once you have this ubekha, when things happen and there's nothing you can do, then you can bring your mind to ubekha. You won't feel bad. You just accept that this is the way things work. So this is something that you should try to develop and use it in your daily life when you interact with people. Okay?
Okay, Tajan, thank you, Tajan. So our next question, which is related also, is it also include if I'm biased about someone, I will see him very negatively no matter what he does. So how do I apply the middle path in this case also? Thank you, Tajan.
You should look at that. You should look at the other people, the common things that we have. Like when we born, we are all subjected to aging, sickness, and death. So we are the same in this respect. We also have the 32 parts, the same. We have hair of the head, hair of the body, have skin, teeth, nail, flesh, and all the organs of the body. There is no difference. If you hate the other person, you're also hating yourself. Because everything that you hate, you have it. See? If you think this way, then you will stop hating. Because it's like looking in the mirror, looking at yourself and hating the picture you see in the mirror. You're hating yourself. What for? You don't get anything from hating except bad feelings. So you have to think that we are the same. We have enough suffering from getting old, getting sick, and die. So there is no need to create more suffering for other people. So you have to come back to having compassion, having loving kindness. Okay?
Okay, Tajan, thank you. So the next question, when we harbor ill feelings towards other people, such as hatred and anger, we can ask ourselves to let go. But what happens when we encounter people who have harbor ill feelings towards us. What can we do, Ajahn?
Well, there are several ways. First, you can avoid them. Don't, don't have any contact with them. But if you cannot avoid them, if you have to contact with them, you can either meditate, control your mind, recite the meditation objects such as Bhutto, 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 and don't think about anything about that person. Or if you cannot do that, then you might think that if the person doesn't like you, you should be thankful that they haven't said anything bad about you. Should they say anything bad about you, you should be thankful that they haven't yet physically hurt you, like hitting you, beating you. If they beat you, hitting you, you should be thankful that they haven't killed you. If they kill you, then just be thankful because we're all going to have to die sooner or later anyway. So maybe it's the time for us to depart. If you can think like this, then you can stop your anger or your hatred. Okay?
Okay, Ajahn, thank you. So the next question, as mentioned, in order to achieve higher bliss in meditation, one must observe 8 precepts long term. So how can I observe 8 precepts if I have an executive position in the company and then I'm a salesperson? So because one of the 8 precepts, it might be including using perfume or have to tell some kind of lies. Thank you, Ajahn.
That's why I said earlier that in order to practice the 8 precepts and meditation, you should do it on your day off, the day that you don't have to go to work. And once you have practiced and achieved the result, then you will find that the result is far more better than the money that you get from working. Once you have this, then you will be willing to give up your job and practice full time, just like the way I did. Okay?
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn. So the next question is about nimittas. Are nimittas essentials for awakening? Thank you, Ajahn.
Most nimittas are bad for your development of meditation because they can be a distraction, misleading you out of the middle path. The middle path when you meditate is to enter into emptiness, into calm and peace. But when you meditate and you start to see all sorts of nimittas and you start to go after them, then you will forget to meditate and you will never be able to enter into full concentration to peace and happiness that arise from being fully concentrated. So when you meditate, and should you have any nimitta, you should disregard them. Just concentrate on your meditation object. And if you do this, eventually these nimittas will disappear. And your mind will then enter into full concentration. When it does that, it will have nothing left except emptiness and peace and upekkha. And you can see the mind in its pure form, the one who knows, the knower. Then you will know that the mind and the body are two separate things. Because during that time, the body will disappear from the mind's awareness. Then it will give you the capital or the strength to, when you come out of your meditation, to be able to let go of everything. Because you know that The mind can be by itself and be happy. It doesn't need to have anything. Okay?
Okay, Tajan, thank you. The next question will be, may Tajan please share with us some technique to overcome restlessness? Thank you, Tajan.
Restlessness is because you think too much. You have no mindfulness to restrain your thinking. So you should try to develop mindfulness by keeping your mind busy with your meditation object instead of thinking about this or that thing, or this or that person, or this or that event. You have to stop thinking by developing your mantra, repeating your mantra, recite your mantra. If you don't like Bhutto, you can use something else. You can use counting if you like. Just keep on counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep on counting. When you count and you concentrate on your counting, then you will not be able to think about other things. When you don't think about other things, then your mind will become empty and peaceful. Okay?
Okay, Tajan. Thank you, Tajan. So those are questions for this week. So we'll meet Tajan again for next week session, Tajan.
Okay.
So we would like to pay respect to Tajan.
Let me give the Anumodana.
Okay, Tajan.
Yā thā wā riṭ wā hā purā paripurenti sākalaṃ evameva ito tinnaṃ pētānaṃ upakappati ichitaṃ patitāṃ tumhaṃ kipameva samicchatu sapphe purentu saṅkapā janto panahraso yatthā manichoti Raso yatha saphitiyo vivachantu saparoko vinasatu mate pavatavantarayo sukhiti kayuko pava apivatanasi litsa nityang uttha pajayino jataro dhamma vatanti ayuvano sukhang Padang.
We invite the Sangha to pay respect to Tajan first, Tajan.
Go ahead.
Okay, brothers and sisters, let's pay respect together to San Ajahn.
So,
Yeah, thank you, Tajan. Yes.
I'll see you next Tuesday night.
Yes, thank you, Tajan. Sadhu, Tajan.
Okay, good night, sleep well.
Okay, Tajan. Sadhu.